Hey guys, how are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin evening wrap. So if you guys don't mind smashing that like button, we'll go over to the charts. And DXY just happens to be the first chart that we've got on. We have had a nice bounce off this horizontal we've got drawn in, and at the moment we've come back up, pretty much back up to retest the previous horizontal. So obviously that is not not looking too good because we wanted to break down from here and get into this zone. But if we do play out this area and break down, that'll obviously be okay. But I have said, if we are going to actually go bullish, then yeah, pull back to this horizontal, holding here and then turning back up, is not wouldn't would likely be how the price action would look, how it would play out, and that is, well, for the moment, for the time being, that is how it is looking. Obviously, what has happened is, formerly President Pump, who is now obviously President Dump, decided he was going to stop negotiating with the Democrats until after the election regarding the stimulus. So I'm not quite sure exactly how he's going to play this one, because he's obviously going to lose a lot of votes doing this. If you have one party saying we are here and ready to give you guys money, give you guys enhanced unemployment benefits, whatever else is in that stimulus bill to help out various people. You've got the Democrats basically wanting to give people lots, including rebuilding these Democrat cities that these Democrat mayors have allowed to get trashed. But hey, the people in those cities will want that money to basically rebuild their cities. Um, and it's not like all of them were the people that trashed it. There's going to be people that are pretty unhappy with the situation. So they're not going to be happy. The small businesses and people that were going to get help are not going to be very happy. The people on benefits are not going to be very happy. People without jobs, I mean, just people without jobs are not going to be very happy. So, I mean, you could go so far as to say that Trump was behind in the polls quite considerably. And you may or may not believe in the efficacy of those. And yeah, you mean literally, I'm not. There's no biased opinion there. I personally think they're not the most accurate, but they're not saying Trump will win. Put it that way. And this is definitely not going to win Trump any votes. So. Hey, what is going to happen? I mean, you could read that this is probably good for, well, no, I don't know whether it's good for stock markets, but bad for the dollar, on the basis that if it increases Biden's chance of winning, if he wins, they're going to come out with all sorts of stimulus, all sorts of trillions that are definitely going to devalue this dollar. So it's interesting. It's interesting that how the initial reaction is actually in the opposite direction. Obviously, the initial reaction is that we're not getting the stimulus now. We're not getting the 1 trillion now, but eventually, or the 1.4 trillion, or well, actually, I think the Dems wanted 1.4, 2.4 trillion, but the Trump was only going to offer 1.4. And apparently Pelosi is not negotiating in good faith. Whatever, read into that what you will. So yeah. All that's going to probably happen now is we're going to end up with 3.4, 4.4, 5 trillion, whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Don't forget there's lots of Democrats that want MMT. So literally, just they'll be happy giving people $1,000 a week, thousand not a week, maybe $1,000 a month just to do nothing. So yeah, it's just the craziness that is politics at the moment. So yeah, I mean, we've got an initial pullback because we're not getting basically either 1.4 or 2.4 now, but I suspect we will get a pullback down when we get, like, say 3, 4 or 5 trillion potential crazy stimulus bills after the election, and when how that has to start getting priced in. So it's pretty wild what is going on at the moment. Clearly Trump is playing games. Clearly Trump is obsessed with the stock market. So a lot of people would say that he is going to have to backtrack on this. So yeah, that will obviously have a short-term deval of the DXY once he decides to do that. But clearly he can't do that right now. Can't do that straight away. So stock markets are quite possibly gonna have to play out some more downside here. So congratulations, Trump. Let's have a look at some other markets before we go over to Bitcoin. S&P has, came up to our horizontal, like literally to the tick. I mean, if we'd moved it up to the top of that wick, that would have been it. Got rejected. So yeah, I mean, we got nicely above that 3,400. Nicely above there, up to, well over 3,430. And then that's obviously when President Dump decided to just flex his Twitter muscles. I'm sure he got one of his sons to get some nice shorts in the market beforehand. But yeah, I mean, if we do hold this 3,000 or the 3,330 area, then we can turn around here and bounce back up. I mean, I do expect this to, wherever this plays out down to, have at least a 50% retrace and then decide if it wants to go 100% and onwards, or whether we will reject and go bearish there. Let's have a look at gold. Silver. Silver obviously was in an ascending wedge as we had drawn in, and we have clearly dropped out that ascending wedge. The target is basically about down here, and well, we're making a beeline for that target, aren't we? So yeah, that pattern played out. Obviously the sell was below here. I mean, obviously we knew what was going on, but yeah, that was a sell. Gold similarly, we could have drawn a sort of channel in here, a trend line in, and then once we lost that trend line, we came down. I mean, that's the trend line. I'm not sure there's any real point in me drawing it after the event, because then if we come back and look at it, I'll be like, oh look, and we lost this trend line, but I drew this trend line out after. Obviously, you know, the silver, I've drawn out that wedge in the silver before. But yeah, also the horizontal was clearly important. We got up to it a few wicks above, and then slammed back down. We are at a level though now. Well, we're roughly at a sort of level, but I'm not really going to draw it in because we've come down to this so hard. I don't think it's going to necessarily reverse price right here, so that is not looking too good. Bitcoin dominance clearly making a move up. I just don't understand how this manages to change what it has said, but hey, obviously it's making a move up. I mean, this is looking a lot like the DXY, very much like the DXY. So yeah, this could be looking to make a move to the upside, which will not be good for alts. Now over to our beloved Bitcoin. We are at the trend line. We are now at the bottom of the pennant. How the tables have turned. One President Dump tweet and we have gone from looking at, well, potentially out the top side of the pennant, looking to try and make a move up, all looking good, to well, very quickly being at the bottom side. Obviously, as you get towards the end of a pennant, the distance between the top and the bottom clearly gets smaller. That's these lines coming closer together. A bit of geometry there for you. But yeah, obviously it wasn't that far to get back to the bottom. We were at the bottom now. So obviously that's not ideal. We are through and below this this box that we've got. So yeah, I mean, if we turn around and get back above it, get back above 10,600, that may not look too bad. But if we hold below this, come down any further, or lose this trend line, then we are toast. We are done. We are coming down to 10k and holding our breath. And as I think it's as Sir Alex Ferguson, formerly of Man United coaching fame, it will be squeaky bum time. So that's what we will be having to deal with if that is the case. But yeah, I mean, it is not looking good. We'll have a look at this on the daily as well. Yeah, you can see it's a pretty bearish looking daily candle. As it is now, obviously 3 hours left to go of a 24-hour candle. So clearly for the most part done. Let's have a look at the bi-weekly, how we looking. Yeah, I mean, bi-weekly, we've got to be holding this level, to be honest. Otherwise we will be coming to test test the 10k, and we could lose this 10k. I mean, that maybe that's it, guys. Maybe we are done. Maybe that is it. Just if we're gonna play these sorts of games, basically my theory for most of the year has been a rally towards basically November time, and then time to take risk off, and things are going to go a bit wild. It is October. It is obviously the 6th of October. Maybe we're just prematurely entering that phase of the craziness, and we gotta decide what we're gonna do with our market positions, because clearly it's getting a bit wild, isn't it, guys? It is getting a bit wild, and we are on the precipice of a big move. And whilst ever we have this this market is getting hit with just. We get crypto related BitMEX FUD, then we get some other FUD, other crypto FUD, then we get Trump getting ill, then we get Trump getting better, thumbs up, that's great, and Trump's like, well, we're not having that, so now I'm going to basically postpone the stimulus. And it's just like the market's getting hit with everything at the moment. So if we could not do that any much longer, that would be fine. But yeah, so difficult times. Obviously, elections are always going to be a bit of a difficult time. So with all the wackiness that is going on. We have got to be pretty cautious here. Things are looking not looking good at all. All our great day yesterday was kind of wiped out. I mean, this is what I feared, that if we have a down day, then Bitcoin's going to get particularly hit hard. As of yet, we've not actually got particularly hit as hard as we could be. If we actually look at a price range of this high to this low, we are only down about 2.6%. If we go over to stock markets, bearing in mind stocks don't move anywhere near as much as Bitcoin. If we look at this from top to bottom in stocks in the S&P, then we're literally down about the same. So that is what I am saying, that Bitcoin is actually not doing so bad at the moment, because it is only down literally in percentage terms as much as the S&P. And obviously we know Bitcoin has a much wilder range, a higher beta basically to the stock market movement. So as the stock market goes down X amount, you would expect BTC to go down multiples of X, and it hasn't gone down a multiple of X at the moment. It has only gone down X, X being 2.6%. It's looking dicey basically, and maybe we're only getting held up by this trend line. Maybe we're only really getting held up by the support area, and still some buying into here. But if that gives up, if that fails, and stock market still look weak, then we are gonna capitulate here. Can we get a turnaround in stocks? Can we get a turnaround in the dollar pretty quickly? Or there's I don't see any alternative, guys. I do not see any alternative. I don't think Xi is going to come in and talk about China adopting a Bitcoin standard. Not that they did that, but they came in and spoke about crypto. I don't really think that's going to help us that's going to come in this time. But yeah, so it's going to be a difficult next few days of trading, I think, because there are two things that I feel like I know that are high likelihood events. One is that Trump is going to do a U-turn, and two is that he's not going to do it straight away. So he's not going to do it. He's going to let the market stew, let the people stew. Also try and allow his reputation to be held intact by not coming out straight away as soon as the market dips 2.6% and reversing his decision. But yeah, like I said though, there are alternative plays now. If Trump, if this does not help his ability to win the election, then yeah, we are going to get a lot more stimulus, guys. We are going to get a lot more stimulus. So bear that in mind. So that is it, guys. This is not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I will speak to you guys in the morning.